Hello students, my name is Kajal Jaiswal and I welcome you all to the online session of mathematics. I hope you all are doing good. Without any further delay, let's get started. Today we will study the topic decimal. So the topic covered in this session are addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of the decimals. So let us start the session now. Okay, so what are decimals? See, this lesson will explain how to read and work with decimal. See, I have divided the whole of the chapter into 4 topics. So this is the first topic that we are going to study, that is what are decimals, how do we read and work with decimals. So suppose we are having a problem. Now what is the need of decimal? This you will be able to understand with this problem. Suppose you work in a medical lab and you need to tell your co-workers how much medicine you need. So always we don't talk about the whole numbers. So we use a different kind of number also, which are known as the decimal number. Suppose the doctor told that I need 2/10 of a gram of insulin. Okay, so why did he say this number and what is this 2/10? So this only we will understand in this chapter. So what is the need of this thing? See, saying numbers correctly can ensure everyone is talking about the same things. So we need to understand, if I am saying 1, then you are able to understand that I am talking something about one item, one of something. Okay, so similarly we need to know the numbers correctly and also the decimal numbers so that we can differentiate between the numbers. Okay, now so decimal are the numbers that are less than 1 but greater than 0. Now what does that mean? A number which is less than 1 but it is greater than 0. That means suppose here I have taken an example 39.1. What does this mean? See, this point, whatever this point is there, whatever is the number to the left of the point, that is the whole number part. Okay, and whatever is to the right of the decimal, that is known as the decimal part. So here this decimal part, this 0.1 is less than 1 but it is greater than 0. Therefore it is known as a decimal part, because I told you in the definition itself that decimal numbers are less than 1 but greater than 0. So if it is asked to define the decimal, you will use this definition. Okay, now how do we read the decimals? See, 39.1 is read as 39 and 1/10. Now firstly I told you 0.1, then I am telling you 1/10. So see, there are two ways of reading the decimals. Not only just two ways, we can read it many ways, but here we will study about the two ways. Now see, some of the informations also I have provided throughout the slide in this box. You can just pause the video and check over those facts also. Okay, it will become more clear. You can read it out. Okay, now we are moving to the next slide. See, so this is the place value. When we will be able to understand, when we will understand this place value, then we will be able to understand how to read the decimals. Let us now understand this place value. See, we have already studied that the place value of the whole numbers, that is ones, tens, 100, 1000, 10,000. So this is the same thing. Then comes the decimal. Which is placed over here beside 5. Okay, now after that the place value becomes 10th, 100th, 1000th and 10,000th. So remember, decimal have the th at the end of their name. Whenever we will use a decimal and someone is telling you to denote a decimal number, you will always place th at the end of that number. Okay, now suppose we are having these numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 arranged in the place value chart. If I want to write that number, how I will write? See, in ones place 5 is written, in the tens place 4 is written, so it will become 40. Then in 100 place 300, 2000, 10,000. This we already know about the whole numbers, but when we will read about the decimal numbers, what we will do? First of all, this 6/10 stands for 0.6, 700 stands for 0.7, 1000 stands for 0.008 and 9 stands for 10,000. That means we will put total of 3 zeros. Okay, so this is the place value chart. When we will add the number, what number we will get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.6789. That means 12,345.6789. So basically what we are doing here is that with each proceeding place value, we are increasing 110. Okay, so this way we will write the decimal numbers. Okay, now we will move to the next slide. Now again, to read a number, see, I told you we can read a number in many ways. So this is the second way how we can read the number. Suppose a number is written 20.045. First of all, whenever I am reading like this, the numbers after the decimal, the numbers after the decimal are not read together. We cannot read it like this 20.45. No, we will always read it separately 20.045. Okay, this was one method. Now the another method is to read it is the whole number. We will read it like this. See, I have divided it into 4 steps. Read the whole number part first of all. Okay, so 20, after that what we will say? Point, or you can also say and. So we will say 20 and. After that the third step is read the decimal part. So the decimal part is 45. Okay, 45. So I will read it 20.45. But whenever I am reading it together, remember, when you will read it together, you will put the place value to which it belongs, that is the last number. The last number is 5 and it has the place value of 1000. So what I will read it? 20 and 45,000. Okay, this was one method. If I will read it separately by the second method, then how I will read it? 20.045. Understood? So these were the 2 ways of reading the decimal numbers. Okay. Now what is written over here? Extra zeros to the far right of a decimal don't change the value, but they do change how you pronounce the number. Suppose a number is written 0.2. Okay, now first of all, before this we will understand one more concept. Suppose I have written something as 0 decimal 2 is written. Okay, now one more thing we can place over here, that is this number will be equal to 0 decimal 2 0. Okay, these both numbers are equal. Why? Because to the right side of the decimal part we can place as many zeros as possible, but it will not change the value of the number. So the both sides are equal. This won't be 20. Okay, this is still 0.2 only at both the places. So the value will not change, but the pronunciation will change. How? This side, how we will read it? 0 and 2/10. Okay, 0 and 2/10. If you want, you can skip the 0 also. You can read it 2/10. But to the right side, how we will pronounce it? 0 and 20/100th. Okay, why? Because the place value is 10th, 100th. So how we will pronounce it as 20/100th. Understood? So this was 2/10th, but this has become 20/100th. Still the value has not changed. Okay, now the fourth time, suppose I am putting one more 0. So how I will read it? 200,000th. Why? Because we will always look at the last number. Okay, and we will look at the place value of that number. Okay, now we will move to next slide. Okay, try it yourself. I have given some of the examples over here, so you can just pause the video, practice these questions, and after that you can check the answers also. It is given over here only. Yeah, so here is the answer. Okay, and now we are moving to the next topic, that is decimals, that is addition and subtraction. So this lesson explains, by the lesson I mean this topic will explain how to add and subtract numbers that have a decimal point. Now suppose we are again having a problem. You need to take 3 grams of pain medication. You have already taken 0.75 grams of pain medication from a multi-purpose formula. How much more medication do you need? So you need 3 gram of medicines, and from that 0.75 gram you have already taken. So how much more you need? So what we will do in this case, we will subtract it. But how we will subtract? So remember I told you that 3 can also be written as 3.00. Why? Because after a whole number there is a decimal point which we don't see usually, but it is there. Okay, so 4 can also be written as 4 decimal. Okay, and we can put it like this also. So one more 0 also we can put, and not just one 0 but many of the zeros can come here. Its value will not change. Okay, so here I have written 3.00 and downside I have written 0.75. Now when we will subtract the number, usually how we used to do the subtraction of the whole numbers, similarly we will do the subtraction over here also. But we just need to keep one thing in mind, that whenever we are arranging the numbers from top to bottom, we will always keep the decimal points in place, okay, and in one line. So what is written over here? When adding and subtracting numbers with decimal point, always line up the decimal points. If you line up the decimal points, you will be able to do 50% of the things. Okay, now 3 was given over there, na? So what we will do? 3. Okay, 3 I have written like this. Again I told you that here is a point which is missing, which we usually don't see. After that, downside also I will put a decimal. This will be my second place. So first decimal upside, after that the downside I will put the decimal. Okay, after 3 what will come? Let it be like this only. We will come to the second number, that is 0 is to the left side of the decimal and 75 will come to the right side. Now these two places are remaining. Now what we will put here? We will put 0, and after that we will subtract the numbers. So from 0 it will borrow from 3, it will become 10, from 10 5 will be subtracted, 5 will come. So usually we are doing the same thing as we do in the subtraction chapter. Now so the answer will be 2.25. okay, now we are moving to the next slide. Line up the decimal. See, I have taken example very properly over here, so here you can check out it. Put zeros in the blank space to help you see what you are adding. Okay, so 24.3 was written, after that plus 18.45. So what I will do, first of all I will write 24.3, after the downside I will write 18.45, and this space over 5 will remain vacant, so there I will put 0. After that I will add both the numbers. Okay, similarly here also what I will do, here we have to do the subtraction. So first of all we will write 18.62 and downside we will write 3.8, but the last place will be vacant, so there we will put 0. That is basically we have to, first of all what we have to do is we have to place the decimal points in the same line. If you do this, half of your work is done. When adding, don't forget to carry when numbers add up to more than 10, which we usually do in the addition. Okay, and subtraction, don't forget to borrow if the number is less than the number which is written downside. Understood? Similarly as we did in the addition and subtraction chapter of whole numbers. So now I am moving to the next slide. All numbers have a decimal point even if you can't see it. For example, rupee 15 can also be written as rupee 15.00. This only I told you earlier also, that 3 can also be written as 3.00. Similarly 15 can also be written as 15.00. So here the number is 20 plus 4.02. So how we can write it? 20.00 plus 4.02. Why we are doing this? Because the whole number will be subtracted from the whole part and the decimal part will be subtracted from the decimal part. Okay, so one more thing you can do over here is that you can change this both the numbers which are written here, decimal numbers, they are known as the like decimals. Why? Because the places after the decimal is same. So 20 was there, again 4.02 was there, 0.02 was there. Okay, so this is not a like decimal because after here two places of decimal are there, that is the places after the point, and in this no places of zeros, no places of decimals are there. So what we will do here, this number also we will change into like decimal. How we will change it? Put 2 zeros, because we can place as many zeros as possible, it will not change the value. So 20.00 and 4.02 has now become like decimal. Why? Because after the decimal they are having equal number of digits, that is 2 digits. Okay, similarly here also we will do the same thing. If you want to change 100 into like decimal, what you will do? Here 3, after the decimal 3 digits are there, so here also after 100 put 3 digits, that is 3 zeros. Okay, why? Because I told you this thing, you can read out the box. 100 is equals to 100 decimal is equals to 100.000. Okay, 3 times. So now we have changed the number into like decimal and now we will subtract both the numbers. Okay, so first of all change the numbers into like decimal, after that you will subtract the numbers or you will add the numbers. Now we are moving to the next slide. See some of the addition and the subtraction topics question I have provided over here. You can just go through it and solve it. So if suppose I am taking one question from here for your better understanding, so I will take this number. Okay, I will take this number. Now what I will do, first of all I will convert, I will convert both the numbers into like decimal. So 3 decimal 1 3 is given. Okay, after that 9 is there, but 9 is not it is just a whole number. So what we can do, we can put a decimal over here, and after the decimal I can put 2 zeros. Why 2 zeros? Because now it will get converted into like decimals. The digits after the decimal will be same. Now we can add both the numbers, 3.13 and 9 decimal 0 0, and just add both the numbers. Okay, so what I have done, decimals I have placed in one line. So 1 3 12, so 12.13 will be the answer. Understood? So you can click here for the answers. You can just pause over the video and you can just solve all the questions. After that you can check your answers as well. So here are the answers. Okay, now the next topic, that is the multiplication topic. This lesson explains how to multiply numbers that have a decimal point. Again, I am taking a problem. You need to buy 12 cans of paint costing rupees 5.29 each. How much will you pay? Okay, so I told you, whenever we used to find the cost of more than one thing, and the cost of one thing is given, and we have to find the cost of more than one thing, what we do in such cases we used to multiply. So here also we will multiply both the numbers. Now remember, forget the decimal until and unless you multiply the numbers. So we will simply multiply the numbers as we used to do in the whole number. That is, forget that it is 5.29. Assume that it is 529, and 529 you have to multiply by 12. So usually what the answer will come? 6,348 answer will come. What we will do over here is that we will count the decimal places. Decimal places, what does that mean? We will move to the next slide and we will try to understand this concept. So see here, this decimal point means that how many digits are there to the right of the decimal. Suppose here the question is 3.51 we have to multiply by 1.4. So first of all we will count all the decimal places. So how many decimal places? See, in 3.51 there are 2 decimal places, that is 2 digits to the right of the decimal 2. Okay, 2 decimal places, and in 1.4 there is 1 decimal places. So together it becomes 3 decimal places. So we will now keep it in mind that there are 3 decimal places. And after this, what we will do? We will forget the decimal and we will just simply multiply both the whole numbers. 351 multiplied by 14. We will get the answer 4914. After that, 3 decimal places were there now. So from the back side of the numbers, we will count up to 3 and we will place the decimal. That is, the number was 4914. So we will count from back side 1, 2, 3 and we will place the decimal over here. 4.914 will be the answer. Understood? So you can read out this box for better understanding of this topic. Now we will move to the next slide. One more example is given over here. So first of all, what we will do? We will count all the decimal places. That is 1, then here 2, 3, 4 and 5. So all together there are 5 decimal places. Okay, now we will forget both the decimals and we will simply see what is the number. So the first number is 23 and the second number is not 0.0002 but it is only 2. So we will take 2 and we will multiply 23 and 2. After that the answer will be 46. Okay, write 46. See, as we can put zeros to the right side, we can also put zeros to the left side. Okay, we can also put zeros to the left side, but not in all the cases, only when we are short of digits. Okay, so we have to put 5 decimal, we have to put the decimal after 5 places from the back side, but here we are having only 2 numbers. So what we will do? We will increase the zeros to the left side. 1, 2, 3. Now you can count how many numbers are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it becomes 5 number in total. So now we will put the decimal over here, and after putting the decimal you can put 1 0. Okay, you can close it and we can put 1 0 beside the decimal to the left of the decimal as well. Okay, so it will be your answer, that is 2.3 multiplied by 0.0002 becomes 0.00046. Understood? Okay, now we are moving to the next slide. See, there are some shortcuts you can take if you are multiplying by a multiple of 10. Okay, as we were having advantage whenever we are in the previous chapters also, when we are multiplying a number by 10, 100, 1000, we can do it directly. Here also, if there are decimal numbers such as 0.1, 0.01, 0.001, so we can do it directly. How we can do it directly? See 297 into 1. You know that 297 into 1 is equal to 297. 297 into 1 is equal to 297. Okay, just count how many decimal places are there. So you are only in this number there is decimal, in 297 there is no decimal. So what we will do? We will just read the decimal. So after decimal there are 4 points, that means 4 decimal places. So just see if there are 4 numbers or not. 1, 2, 3, only 3 numbers are there. So we will put 1 0 here. So now it will become 4 numbers, and after the 4 before the 4 numbers we will put a decimal. Okay, and after putting this decimal we will put 1 0. So 0.0297. Okay, this will be the answer. Here what we will do? If the number is 100, okay, we have to multiply the number by 100. So what we will do? Simply forget the decimal. Okay, simply forget the decimal and we will simply multiply the numbers. So whenever 2309 is multiplied by 1000, what number we will get? 2309 and 2 zeros. This we will get on multiplying both the numbers. Forget the decimal places. Now in the answer we have to put the decimal places. So count how many decimal places are there. 1, 2, 3. 3 decimal places. So that means we have to put the number, the decimal from the back side before the 3 numbers. So count the numbers 1, 2, 3. So we will put decimal over here. Okay, we will put the decimal over here, 230.90. Okay, and since the value, this does not hold any value, that's why the number is written as 230.9. okay, you can read this box. After this, I have given some of the multiplication problems here, so you can just go through, just practice over this, practice this also, and the answers are also here. Okay, so yeah, now we have come to the last topic, that is the division. How do we do the divide? So this lesson explains how to divide number that have a decimal point. Now suppose the problem is a wall measures 96.5 inches tall. You need to install 3.25 inches tall siding panels. How much panels do you need? So I have already explained you, whenever the word many comes, that is, you have been asked about the number of panels, number of bricks, number of walls. So in this case we will always divide it. So here the division will be done. Okay, so whenever a number with decimal point is divided, decimal point placement is the key. As soon as you know where to place the decimal, half of your work is done. Okay, we will understand it with an example. Suppose, remind yourself of the steps you need to take when dividing. So you will keep these 4 things in mind that I am going to explain right now. So first of all, we used to divide the number, then we used to multiply and check by which number it will go. Okay, that is 21 into 8. So we know that 168 will come. Okay, we will place 168. That is, the number must be smaller than the number, but it should not be very much smaller, just a little smaller than the number will work. After that, we will do the subtraction. So we will get the number, that is 4. After 4, what we will do? We will take one more number from the dividend, that is the next number 2. Okay, similar, this way we used to divide. But when the division of the decimal numbers is done, how do we do that? So see here, step 1 is move the decimal of the divisor outside the house as far as the right as you can. What does that mean? Suppose we have to divide this, the problem is 8.91, we have to divide it by 3.3. So how we will do this 3.3 division? So see, this 3.3 will be placed outside and 8.91 will be placed inside. But when this 2 we will divide, remember one thing, the divisor can never be a decimal number. So what we will do basically here, that is, we will try to remove the decimal from the divisor and we will try to make it a whole number. So for making a whole number, just remember this, the decimal from the divisor, it will go to the right side. Remember this, suppose this is a house and the number outside will move inside. Okay, and the number which is here, that is the dividend, it will move outside. So the divisor will move inside, the point in the divisor will move inside and the decimal in the dividend will move outside. Just keep this in mind. Okay, think of it as a house, think of it as a house, it will become easier for you to understand. So as many decimal places as this number will go, exactly the same number of places this dividend will also go outside. That is, suppose from 3.3, what I am doing, I am shifting this decimal to one place inside the house. When I am shifting it inside the house, the decimal has gone now, the decimal has gone. And then the decimal in the 8.91, where it will go, it will also go one places to the right side. So it will become 89.1. Okay. After that, the third step is that we have to now divide it. That is, the decimal from the divisor has gone, so we will simply divide the numbers. Okay. Then what we will do, first of all, we will place the decimal in the quotient at the same place where it is in the dividend. Okay, just upside of that. So we have placed it. After that, what we will do, 33, 2 times 66 will come. Okay, we will subtract it, 2 will come, 23 will come, and after that we will note down the next number, that is 1, and 33 sevens is 231. This way we will do the division. Okay, so this was the whole process. You can look over here, see one more question is there. See, the question is same, but only the decimal points have changed. So suppose here 0.33 was there, here 8.9 was there. So what we are doing, I am shifting it 2 places inside the house, 2 places inside the house. That means I will place the decimal 2 places outside the house. So this will become 33 and that number will become 891. Okay. After that, we will simply divide both the numbers and we will get the answer. Now look over here. 8.91 divided by 0.0033. So how much inside you will place this number? You will put it 4 places inside the house. So similarly this decimal also you will place 4 times outside the house. See here. So when we are placing this number 4 places inside the house, it will become 33. Okay. After that, when we will put this number 4 place outside the house, what it will become? 9100. After that point will come. Okay. So we will now simply divide both the numbers. See, I will take one question for better understanding. Okay, suppose we have to divide 0.69 by 3. How we will divide it? So 3 we will put outside and 0.69 will be placed inside. So first of all, what we will do, we will place the decimal. See, the divisor is not having any decimal, so no need to worry, we will simply divide both the numbers. That is, first of all, put the decimal over here. So after that, what we will do, we will simply start dividing. 3 2 times 6. Okay, subtract it, answer is gone. After that, 9 3 times 9 will come. So finally your answer is 0.23. This is the answer. Okay, this was the simple division when we are having no decimal in the divisor. But suppose if we are having the decimal in the divisor, then what we will do? In that case, 1.0486, we have to divide this number by 0.107. okay. See, this is not a comma, it is a decimal. Just try to understand this. Okay. Now we have to change both the numbers. So what we will do? We will try to shift the numbers. One more, the number 0.107 divide by 1 decimal 0486. So now just tell me one thing. So now just tell me one thing. How much this will go inside? How much this will go inside, so that the decimal comes here, at this point. So I think it will go 3 times. Okay, it will go 3 places to the right, so that it gets inside the home. And from here, if this is going 3 times inside the home, we will send this decimal also 3 sides outside the home. That is, the final number will become 107 will be outside, and inside the number will be 1048 decimal 6. Okay, now the decimal has been shifted 3 places outside the house, and this has been placed 3 places inside the house. So now we will divide both the numbers. Okay, so I'll now divide both the numbers. Okay, so what did I tell you? First of all, we will put the decimal. So we will put the decimal over here. After putting the decimal, 107, how many times it will come? So it will come 9 times. And I told you in the very starting, while I was explaining the division chapter, that you will always start writing from the last digit which we are dividing. So we are taking all the 4 numbers. Okay, we are taking all the 4 numbers. Okay, so we will write at the quotient we will write at the top of 8. Why? Because it is the last digit that we are dividing right now. So 107 nines are what will come? 963. Subtract both the numbers, answer will be 85. After that, next number 6 we will note down. So 107 8 times 856 will come. Subtract both the numbers, remainder will be 0. So this is the process. So the quotient is now 9.8. Understood? So this is the answer. So this way we will do the division. Okay, now this was the end of the session. I hope you have understood all the concepts very properly. For better understanding, just try to practice more questions at home from your book as well. Thanks for watching. Be safe and keep studying.